For lattice multiplication, we're going to do 586 times 22. And when you write 586, you're going to separate each one by having their own column. Then we're going to write 22 down on the right hand side and make sure each one has its own column too. The fun thing about lattice is that you can do all your multiplication at one time, and then you can finish up by doing your addition. Now we're going to draw diagonal lines in each box, and I'll explain why these diagonal lines work in a little bit. Now we're going to multiply each box. So we're going to do 6 times 2, which equals 12. So the 1 is going to go here, and the 2 is going to go here. Then we're going to go to 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So the 1 and the 6. 5 times 2 is 10. So the 1 and the 0. Then we're going to do 6 times 2 again, which this is the same thing as up here. So you can just copy the 12 right here. The 16 is going to be the same, and the 10 is going to be the same. We're done with our multiplying, and now we're going to add. So now we're going to go down each diagonal and add. So this is the 1's diagonal. So 2 plus nothing is 2. Here's the 10's diagonal. 6, 7, 8, 9. The 100's diagonal. 6, 7, 8. Then the 100's 1. 1 is 2. And then 1 plus nothing is 1. So the answer is right here. It is 12,892. So now I'm going to go over how and why we did this problem. So first we drew it out like this, and then we drew diagonals. So the way to think about this is that each diagonal is a numbers place. So this diagonal right here, this is the 1's place. Then this diagonal to the left of it is the 10's place. Then the next diagonal above that, this one right here, is the 100's place. And this diagonal right here is the 1000's. Then lastly, the diagonal above that is the 10,000's place. So when we multiply one digit times another digit, we just need to remember to put the numbers in the right bucket or in the right place. So that would be 1 and 2 for 12. So when we get 12 right here, this 6 is just a regular 6, right? But this 2, is it just a regular 2? No, it's actually 20. So if you break up 22, it can be broken up by 20 plus 2. So we're taking 6 and 20, not just 6 and 2. So 6 times 2 isn't really just 12, it's 6 times 20, which is really 120. So what we just did was 6 times 20 equals 120. And if you break up, what is 120? Well, it's 100 and it's 2 10s. So if you notice, I told you earlier, this is the 100's place, so that's why there's 100 and 2 10s. And I told you earlier this was the 10's place, so there are 2 10s. So right here we actually wrote 120. Now let's keep going. So what we do next is 8 times 2. But what we're actually doing is 80, because that's in the 10's place, times 20, because that is broken up by 20 and 2, and that's in the 10's place. So 80 times 20 equals 1,600. So what we're really putting in there, although we put in 16, we're putting a thousands, which is the 1, and the 6 is in the hundreds place, so we're going to put a 6. So you can also see that 8 times 2 is 16, But when you actually think about it, the 1 is in the thousands, the 6 is in the hundreds. So when we do 5 times 2, we're actually not doing just 5 times 2, we're doing 500 because 5 is in the hundreds place, times not just 2 but 20, which if you do that you get 10,000. So to write that in the box, you're going to write the 1 in the 10,000s place and this 0 in the thousands place, because that's what the place value is for that 0. Now we're going to go to this box. In this box we have a 6, and this is just a regular 6, and a 2, and this is just a regular 2. So if we do 6 times 2, we get 12, and 12 is written as 1, 10. There's 1 10, and how many ones? There are 2 ones. So then we're going to write just this in this box. So if you go to the tens, which is green, we're going to write 1, and how many ones? 2. So in this blue 1 section, we're going to write 2. Now we're going to do 8 times 2, but notice that this isn't just 8, it's actually 80, because it's in the tens place. So 80 times 2 equals 160. So we're going to write a 1 in the hundreds and a 6 in the tens, because this is saying 100 and 6 tens. The last part of the multiplication part that we're going to do is 500 times 2, which equals 1,000. So there is 1,000 and 0 hundreds. You could also say there are 0 tens and 0 ones. So you're going to write 1 in the thousands place and a 0 in the hundreds place. So now that we finished our multiplication, we're going to do our adding. So we're going to start right here with the ones place. So 2 in the 1 place is just a 2. Now we go to the tens place. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. Then we go to the hundreds place. So 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. Then we move to the thousands place. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then the 10,000s place, 1 plus nothing is just 1. So our final answer right here is 12,800.